Hello everyone, I'm Taylor and today I am doing my September wrap-up. So this month I read 3 books, which is not impressive for most booktubers, but that's my normal rate of how many books I read in a month, so I'm proud of myself for that. The first book that I finished this month, I actually started it when it came out, which was I think in May, and I was reading it and I just had to put it down because it just wasn't grabbing me. But then late August I picked it back up again and I finished it in the beginning of September, and that was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So I have read every Sarah J. Maas book so far, so I'm proud of myself for that. This book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars, again because it took me so long to read. It was very slow in the beginning and it didn't really pick up the pace until the last quarter of the book, which was when I read it the second time. And I really enjoyed that last part of the book, and I cannot wait to see what happens in the next book in this series. If you don't know what this is about, basically it is a retelling of the story of Beauty and the Beast, which is my favorite Disney movie, so I was excited about that. Instead of a beast, there are fairies who are kind of beast-like. The main character, Tamlin, can turn into a monster when he wants to. And he takes Feyre, the main character of this book, to his court after she commits a crime against the fairies. So that is what happens in this book, and just chaos ensues the last quarter of it, and it was fantastic. I definitely recommend it if you've read Sarah's other books, because I think you will enjoy it. The next book that I read this month was Sarah's next book that came out on September 1st, and that was Queen of Shadows. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series, and I cannot wait for the next 2 books. This was not my favorite of the Throne of Glass series. My favorite, I think, is still Crown of Midnight, but I still really enjoyed this book. There was a couple issues I had with it, but altogether I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I also did a discussion video on this book, so I will link that video down below if you want to go see my discussion of Queen of Shadows. I talk about all my favorite parts. Because this is the 4th book in a series, I will not go into what it is about, but if you have not read Throne of Glass yet, you really should. It is a fantastic read and a fantastic new fantasy series. You just must read it. So 5 stars on this book. And the last book that I read this month, and I finished it on Monday, and that is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I cannot believe it took me this long to pick up this book. I was afraid I was not going to like it because it is an adult book, not just adult like in her book Attachments, where they're 26, 28 years old. They're in their late 30s. I did not think I would relate to the characters in this, but even if I could not relate to them as well as the other ones, I still loved this book as much as all the other ones. My favorite role will always remain Fangirl. This is probably at the bottom of the list of favorites for Rainbow, but I'm still glad I read it, and I cannot wait to read all the other books she's going to put out, and I know she won't disappoint me. Rainbow, she's like the queen of dialogue, and I love it. Her dialogue is so funny. So this book is about this girl named Georgie. Not a girl, she's a woman. She has 2 kids and a husband, and she writes comedy for television. And basically this story is about her struggle with kind of trying to fix her marriage, which is kind of becoming broken because she has to stay behind and work during the Christmas break, while her husband just takes the kids and goes to his hometown of Nebraska, in Omaha. Like all of Rainbow Rowell's books have Omaha, Nebraska in it. And she, one day when she's at her old house with her mom, she picks up this yellow landline in her house and calls Neil, her husband, and it turns out that Neil in the past picks up. And she's trying to figure out if this is a sign that she could either fix her marriage or even stop it before it started. I really loved this book. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Maybe I forget, But I will link my Goodreads review down below if you want to see that, because I did review it on Goodreads. Other than that, my favorite parts of this book were definitely the phone calls, because, like I said, I love Rainbow Rowell's dialogue. If you have not read this book and you've read her other books, you have to pick it up because it is just fantastic. So that is all the books that I read this month. I know it's not that impressive, but I'm still proud of myself, and I don't know what I'm going to read next month. I will probably have a video up telling you what I want to read, not guaranteed that I'm going to read them, but we'll see what happens. So that is all I have for this video. Let me know what books you read this month and rate them and tell me if you're good. So I'll see you next time with another video. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter or Goodreads, then go ahead and click the links down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!